is the new Axial SCX10 III worth $399.99. Well, you can get it from AMain for $369.99. I'll put a link to that below the video. But first of all, let's take a look at the details, see just what you get for your money, and then you can decide by the end, is it worth it? Welcome to my first look at the new Axial SCX10 III, the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon Edition. It is a kit, first of all, people, when looking at this. Also, it's at $399 on the Axial site. However, flicking over to the AMain site, it's on there for $369, and they are taking pre-orders due in on April the 23rd, so I'll put a link to that. And the AMain site's got a little more information than the Axial one. Anyway, back to the car itself. What is there to like about this? Well, it is the one which a lot of people have been waiting for. Super scale on this, as you will see as we scan down the features. Now, it's a kit. What are you going to need to run this thing? Just the 2-channel radio, etc.? No. If you come to the AMain site and scan on down, it gives you a full list at the bottom of it here of things needed to complete. They've actually doubled up on everything here, so we'll just cut it off to the bottom there. You need, ideally, 4-channel transmitter and receiver, as opposed to 2-channel or even 3-channel, but I'll come on that into a second. Steering servo needed, ESC needed, electric motor needed, micro servo for rear dig feature, micro servo for 2-speed feature, battery charger, paint, etc, etc. Anyway, before we get onto some of that goodies on board the car, scanning on down, we've got increased realism with details including a replica V8 engine. And if you're wondering what a scale V8 looks like, well, now you know. Absolutely outstanding. If you look there, even the transfer case and the gearbox there are just like the real thing on there. Super scale indeed. And you will know at that point as well, the motor is mounted right towards the front of the car for maximum weight distribution over the front wheels. Although note, while the electrics are shown in this car, you are going to have to install your own ones in there. Now, to get down to the nitty gritty of it, what is there to like about this? Well, they reckon a minimum of 3-channel as opposed to 2-channel on here, but ideally 4-channel. Because if you're using a 3-channel radio, you can set it up with a 3rd channel to enable a dig function for the rear axle that lets you lock the rear axle from the transmitter for front wheel drive only, and a tighter turning circle to pull the front of that car round. It also explains, there's a little video explaining here that you can play as to how the dig locks and unlocks at the rear on there. The idea being, if you lock the rear of the car up, that the front will literally be able to pull around, so the car will pivot around at the back rather than all 4 wheels moving, enabling you to take corners and much more acute angles. Another 3-channel option is to set the vehicle up with a 2-speed option, as this has a 2-speed box, so you can switch between high and low gear, much the same as you can with a TRX4 or TRX6. If you want the all singing, all dancing version though, you really want to budget for a 4-channel radio, because you need 1 channel for the steering, 1 channel for the throttle, and 1 channel for the dig, and 1 channel for the 2-speed box. Hence, I would say, if you're going to buy this and spend that amount of money, $399 or $369 from AMain, go for a 4-channel radio on this. It's also got portal axles as stock on this. I believe that's the first time for an Axial one. And scanning down, you can see the huge ground clearance there that the portals give you. Just taking a look at that portal axle from the side there, all looks very well engineered. The Traxxas ones were engineered pretty well. This looks virtually bulletproof, a lot of metal there straight out of the box. And when I mentioned there being a lot of metal on the car, even down to things like metal servo horns, which is great to see from the outset. Metal links throughout on the steering, and then a portal axle design in more detail. Well, that looks fairly beefy, but obviously until you get one of these things out on the trail, you won't know for sure. Just remember guys, if you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. And speaking of that drivetrain, we've got a universal axle set for more steering and smoother action, but also you've got the higher power world bore drive shafts, which I know a lot of you guys out there like. You can see the clearance that the portal axles give. Who doesn't like the look of that flat bottom of the car? Very nice indeed to see that. It's got a huge clearance even in the middle in there. Anyway, there is a video of the truck on the Axial site, which we'll leave you to look through in your own time. I'm quite liking the look of the blue body on here, although I think the silver probably actually makes a more realistic scale look and scale colour to the thing than the blue one is. It does come with a fully detailed interior. I'm going to go into that in a second. And I mentioned scale interior. You've not got the best of shots of it here. They're only quite small, and Device Axial didn't put a bigger shot of that on there, but nonetheless a lot more detail than you would traditionally expect from a crawler. Big lot wheels all round. These are actually KMD licensed and machete wheels with Nito Trail grappler tyres. R35 compound. If somebody wants to explain the compound to me, I would love to know. Multiple battery locations. It'll take a standard pack, line across the car, or a shorty pack further on back down the car. Adjustable chassis so you can extend the wheelbase. And in terms of neat features, one which is worthwhile reading up on here, we have a chassis mounted servo on here which they claim to eliminate bump steer, which would be a great thing. And this thing looks like it's built to put up with some serious abuse. We got 6mm thick stainless steel links there for the full link setup on that. Absolutely outstanding. And here's the heart of the matter, that gearbox here. We've got the dig linkage on there and 2-speed linkage on there in the centre of the box. Metal motor mount, which is a good sign. And it shows you in a little bit of detail there how the dig and the 2-speed transmission work. Also explains exactly what you can do with the car. You can use a 2-channel radio on there, but I'm not sure why would you want to buy this car and run it with the 2-channel and just have it as a stock crawler, where you could have the dig and a 2-speed setup on that with a 4-channel very, very easily indeed. Well, they show the car in both silver and blue. Scanning on down, looks like it comes with a clear body as standard. And speaking of that body being clear, if you actually scan right down to the bottom here, hidden body clips located beneath all 4 corners of the car on there, making for a nice clean super scale finish up on the top there. And one feature that they barely make mention of, but I'm loving the look of, is that roll cage built in over the top to keep your body in one piece for those hard knocks. Anyway, to come back to my original question, which was, do you think the Axial SCX10 III is worth $399.99? Well, if you do, then I suggest you get it for $30 less at a main. Link to it below the video. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe if you find this one useful. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.